Hey folks, Backwoods Gourmet here, ready to show you another survival recipe you can do on open fire. We're probably going to do it on some all-natural charcoal here today, threatening rain, summertime, Florida, rains every day. So it's real simple and very few steps, so we'll get after it.
Okay, as I told you, this is about the most basic recipe you can make. This is going to be for some survival bread, and you only need a few things. You need a bowl, something to mix in. You need couple teaspoons of salt. You need some warm water and some yeast, or the mother of the bread that you took before, and we'll explain that later. You're also going to need some cast iron cookware, since we're going to cook over coals. I like this big deep pan right here. It gives a lot of room for it to rise, but if you don't have that, the regular old 10-inch lodge skillet's good. We're probably going to try to do this one in a Dutch oven. Alright, these only work if you're doing them in the conventional oven, okay, because you need heat from the top. So if you want to do it at home, because this is really great to do at home also, but camping, you're going to need a Dutch oven, number 10 or number 12. Alright, just a few ingredients. There's 3 cups of here all-purpose flour and bread flour, whatever you got. Even if you're some of my prepper friends out there, subscribers, if you grind your own flour, then whatever you have is going to work fine. To that, we're going to add about a teaspoon of salt. And that's it. We're going to take our dry yeast. We're just going to add that straight to the flour. And here we have, this is just warm tap water. If you didn't have warm tap water, obviously you could just heat up a little bit of water. The optimal temperature is 105 degrees. So it should feel warm to the touch. If you take it straight out of the tap, it's at 120. You put in this cup, it will cool to 105 almost immediately. So this is just warm tap water, and we're just going to slowly add warm tap water into the flour and just try to get that incorporated. And we'll keep adding it till we have a medium consistency dough. No rocket science here. Okay, we just brought that together with just enough water to bring the flour and water yeast mixture together to where it's reasonably smooth and not like falling apart into different segments. It is consistent. So that's what you want at this step. So all we're going to do now, we're going to leave it right in that bowl. No fuss, no muss. We're going to put a dish towel over it, and we're going to set that joker aside. If it's cooling where you live, you need to try to keep it in a warm place, near, if you're camping, near the fire. Optimal temperature is about 90s to 100 degrees, and humidity level great. If you're in a desert area, you might want to put a little just dampen the towel on top to keep the humidity level up inside the bowl so it doesn't dry on the crust outside of it. Here, Florida, summertime, it's already 90% humidity. So all we're going to do is cover with a towel, and this is Saturday afternoon. We're going to let that guy do its thing, let those magic yeast do their thing until tomorrow. So we'll see.
Been sitting over there all night, most of the day today. We couldn't get back to it. See, it's a nice airy, gooey kind of. It's risen up quite a bit. It's gluten's in the flour have got nice and stringy. So this is going to give us a good texture for our bread. I'm just going to scrape that out onto a floured piece of wax paper, and we'll start working it a little bit. I just try to like roll it over on itself. Start sticking. You're going to have to get in there if you don't have all your paper covered. But it's now very soft, pliable, and as soon as we work a little flour into it, it's going to get really stretchy. Kind of like pizza dough. We're just going to start working it back to the middle. Keep your hands floured. very stretchy and soft. The paper helps contain the mess, but definitely not necessary if you don't have it. So now that I've got it kind of in a ball and it's starting to take some shape, I'll keep my hands floured here, and I'm just turning and tucking it back around itself. And keep dusting it just enough to keep it from sticking to you. Rolling it. What I'm doing is I'm stretching it. Stretching out the glues. We're going to dust that off a little bit. Get where it'll quit sticking to us. Give it a little more flour here. Just grabbing up new flour right now, and that will feed these yeast and let it continue with its rising process. So anyway, we got it into a pretty nice ball there, and so what we're going to do next, we're going to move over our Dutch oven. I did grease this with lard. I like to grease it with lard. It's more of a natural product. It has a higher burning rate than butter. So, looking for kind of a smooth surface on this guy right here, and we're going to put him right in the middle, and I'll show you what we do next. Alright, what we're going to do next is we're just going to take a very sharp knife and we're going to cut through the top of the dough. Razor blade works really good for this too. Cut through the top of that dough. You might have to put some flour on the knife. This one's particularly sticky. That'll give it a place to expand. So what it needs now is more time until it's at least doubled. It's been about an hour. We just had the Dutch oven sitting out here with the bread in the sun. You can see it's getting pretty big. It's very close to doubled. So we're getting there. It's time to go ahead and get your fire ready. Maybe another 15 minutes, so fire ready, and we'll bake her off. Alright, here we've got our backyard set up. You know, this is just in lieu of campfire. We've got by volume, we're trying to go 375, about the same as 9 coals there. These are natural coals. The rain did hold off for us, so we're able to get those going. So we're going to go ahead and get that pot on. And we're going to take the rest of our chimney of homematers. We want more heat on the top of this, obviously, than on the bottom. So, get a hold of this one down here that got away. Just kind of scoot those to the outside, and we'll keep rotating that lid. Alright, we've got that set up now. We've got most of our bottom coals around the bottom edge and the top coals around the top edge. So let's come out here every 5 or 10 minutes and rotate that, actually about every 5 minutes. I'm only looking at about a 15 to 20 minute bake time for this bread. So we'll just keep rotating that lid. Okay, we turned the lid one time there. This, as I said, it's going to be short cooking time. We're going to take a peek in there and look at it. That's pretty much perfect golden brown bread. So we're going to go ahead and take that guy off of the fire. Alright, we took them off. The first thing we do is pop them out of that pot. With a very hot pot. And the way I like to check a bread, I just thump it. You know, if it kind of sounds hollow, that means it's probably going to be pretty good. So we'll serve this guy up with some chicken and rice that we just made, and we'll show you how it looks once we slice it. I guarantee you it tastes awesome for 4 ingredients. We're going to go ahead and cut into this guy for you guys. Bread knife works real good here. Going to get us a nice little wedge of him.
cut it out, and you can see, you know, the bottom's just a little dark, but not too bad. It gets nice and crispy on the bottom. And this, you know, it's a hearty bread. It's meant to be that way. I'm going to go ahead and take some softened butter. If you're lucky enough to have that. It's real butter too, by the way, not margarine. Give it a good slather of that. And put that right there with our chicken and rice homemade. And believe me, you try this, you're going to love it. Very warm day here in Florida, in the backwoods. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Try this recipe yourself. It does take a while to perfect it. I've been myself working on it for a couple of months now. We've made it probably a dozen times. And like everything else, just takes a little practice. But it is something that's very simple, very few ingredients. You can make this in the woods, camping, whatever you're going to do with it.